There are days when the soul feels heavy, as if the heart carries the weight of 1,000 battles. In those silent moments, when everything around loses its color, faith must speak louder. Even without answers, one truth remains: God is still in control. No matter the noise outside, the voice that calms the storm still whispers peace to trusting hearts. No darkness is too dense for divine light to break through. No pain is too deep for the Lord's love to heal. When everything seems lost, that's when the miracle begins to form. The Word says in John 14 verse 27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives." This peace doesn't depend on circumstances. It comes from an eternal source. When trust is placed in God, one walks not by sight, but by faith. Even in strong winds, the feet stand firm on the rock. Even without understanding, the heart finds rest. God's peace surpasses all understanding and guards minds and emotions, even in troubled times. It's not about feeling like everything is okay. It's about knowing in whom the trust lies. Because the one who began the good work is faithful to complete it. Every tear that falls is gathered. Every silent cry is heard. The Lord never forgets those who trust in Him. The waiting may feel long, but God's timing is perfect. And what was promised will be fulfilled. The wilderness is not the end, it's where faith is made strong. Lamentations 3 verses 22 to 23 says, "Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed. His mercies are new every morning. Each morning brings a new chance, a new grace, a new beginning. God never fails." Even when the world says, "There's no way," heaven continues to declare, "There is hope." Those who trust in God are not chained to the past but move forward with courage. God's plans are greater than any temporary difficulty. When fear tries to shout louder than faith, it's time to quiet the soul and remember the promises. Psalm 56 verse 3 declares, "When I am afraid, I will trust in you." Trusting is not the absence of fear, it's choosing to move forward even when trembling. Fear may knock at the door, but faith chooses not to answer. Because greater is the one who lives within than all that rises against. The battle may be fierce, but victory is certain for those who dwell in the shelter of the Most High. Now I pray for supernatural strength for the weary. May the Spirit of God renew strength like the eagle. May all anxiety be cast upon Him, for He cares deeply. May the heart find relief, and the mind be filled with thoughts of hope. May the name of the Lord be a refuge in the storm. May every voice of discouragement be silenced. May the presence of God fill every space and every thought. And may His peace reign above all. The world is full of voices that discourage, accuse, and try to steal peace. But there is one voice that rises above them all, the voice of the Good Shepherd. That voice calls by name and leads safely, even through the darkest valleys. That voice comforts, strengthens, and guides. Even when everything around seems confusing, that voice whispers, "Do not be afraid." It is essential to quiet the noise and listen to the one who never fails. Because those who hear God's voice don't get lost in the storm. Isaiah 43 verse 2 brings a firm promise. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. The promise is not the absence of struggle, but the assurance of His presence. The journey may be hard, but it will never be walked alone. In every step, there is support. In every fall, there are hands that lift. The fire may rise, but it won't consume. The waters may swell, but they won't drown. God's faithfulness is a constant shield and protection. Faith doesn't ignore reality, it surrenders it to the truth of the Word. Reality might say, "It's over," but God says, "It's a new beginning." What looks like ruin to many becomes rebirth in the Creator's hands. The broken vessel can be remade with even greater glory. That's why giving up is not an option. Even when everything seems against it, faith finds a way where there is no path. Because God parts seas, moves mountains, and awakens sleeping promises. Psalm 91 is a refuge in dark days. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. The secret is to dwell, not just visit. Those who choose to stay in God find true rest. The weary soul finds relief. The restless heart finds shelter. There is no safer place than the presence of the Most High. Doubt's shadows disappear in the light of divine presence. And there, fear loses its grip, and faith grows deep roots. No storm lasts forever. After the rain, the sky clears. After the night, the sun shines again. In every season, God remains the same. Faithful in drought and in harvest. Present in calm and in chaos. That's why even in tears, it's possible to worship. Even in pain, it's possible to give thanks. Because there is a purpose, even when it's not yet understood. And when the heart chooses to trust, hope blooms even in the desert. Now I pray that the presence of God fills every space. Where there is fear, may courage enter. Where there is doubt, let conviction arise. May all unrest be replaced with peace. May every weary soul find rest in eternal arms. May every restless mind align with the truth of heaven. May every broken heart be restored. And may faith be reignited, burning brighter than ever before. There are moments when everything around seems to scream that there's no way out. But faith doesn't depend on what the eyes can see, it depends on what heaven has already declared. Even when there are no open doors, God remains the one who creates paths where none exist. No prison is too strong for divine presence to break through. No wall is too high for the love of the Father to cross. When the heart is rooted on the eternal rock, no wind can shake it. Those who trust in the promise walk through the desert with living hope. 2 Corinthians 4 verses 8 to 9 brings comfort to the soul. We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. That is the difference for those who walk with God. Trials come, but they don't destroy. Pain arrives, but it doesn't defeat. There's invisible strength upholding even when the feet tremble. The soul may be tested, but it will never be abandoned. Every battle has a purpose, and no tear is ignored by heaven. God's silence is not absence, it's preparation. Many times, when everything is quiet, something great is being birthed. In silence, faith matures. In the waiting, character is shaped. And when the appointed time comes, no one can stop what has been declared from above. What is born in God cannot be lost. What is grounded in the Word will not be shaken. Waiting time is not wasted time, it's building time. Psalm 46 verses 1 to 2 declares, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. This is not blind faith, it's faith grounded in divine faithfulness. It's not about ignoring the pain, but refusing to let it speak louder than the promise. God's presence doesn't erase the challenge, but transforms hearts in the midst of it. He is the help that never arrives late, the strength that never runs out, a safe refuge amid life's uncertainties. Now I pray that every restlessness be calmed, that the Holy Spirit renews every weary part, that thoughts of failure and hopelessness be broken, that the light of God penetrates the deepest places of the soul, that invisible chains be shattered, that there be deliverance, renewal, and restoration. May every step be guided by the powerful hand of the Most High. May each day be lived with purpose and trust. Nothing can separate a believing heart from the love of God. Not trouble, not hardship, not the present, not the future. Romans 8 verses 38 to 39 affirms this with clarity and power. When everything else fails, God's love remains. When everything falls apart, He still holds it together. No situation is beyond His reach. No pain is outside His healing. Nothing is too great for the Almighty. The journey may seem lonely in human eyes, but never in the eyes of heaven. Angels are sent. Deliverance is released that no one sees. Promises are still waiting to be fulfilled. That's why now is the time to keep going. To plant the feet firm and lift the eyes high. The one who keeps covenant is faithful. Even if weeping lasts through the night, joy will come in the morning. Where there is faith, there is a future. Where God is, hope is alive. When the soul is weary, the spirit bends, and the mind feels lost, it's in that very place that grace reveals its greatest strength. Weariness is not weakness, it's an invitation to rest in God. The burden may feel heavy, but the promise still stands, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." Every inward battle is seen by heaven. Every silent cry is heard. The weight no one else sees is carried by a God who never abandons. Help always arrives in time for those who wait with faith. Psalm 121 declares, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord." Looking upward is a reminder that God's throne is never empty. Nothing escapes divine control. The chaos of the world doesn't confuse the one who rules over it all. God's sovereignty brings peace even when everything else changes. Amid life's uncertainties, the assurance of divine presence is the greatest treasure. Those who wait on the Lord will never be put to shame. The time of affliction will not last forever. Even when the days feel the same, heaven is already moving in favor of those who trust. The door that hasn't opened yet has a time already set to swing wide. The answer not yet seen has already been released in prayer. Healing, renewal, and miracles, they've all been prepared. What's needed now is to remain. To keep believing even when nothing is felt. True faith grows in the invisible. Now I pray for the power that comes from above to be revealed. May the hand of God touch every life that calls out. May walls fall, chains break, and hearts be healed. May every spirit of fear, anxiety, and confusion be broken. May minds align with the Word and peace reign. May joy begin to bloom again. May gray days give way to new seasons. And may God's presence become visible in every detail. The word in Philippians 1 verse 6 is a firm anchor. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. What was started by heaven will not be interrupted by earth. The work won't be left unfinished. Even if the journey has highs and lows, the end will be victory. Because what begins with God ends in glory. Every seed planted with tears will be harvested with joy. Every battle fought in faith will become a testimony. Nothing will be wasted. Faith is what holds steady when everything else seems to fail. It's what keeps the heart firm when the ground beneath shakes. And that kind of faith doesn't come from personal effort, it's a gift. A heavenly gift to endure, press forward, and overcome. May that faith increase today. May it burn like fire. May it light up dark paths. May it uphold when strength runs low. May it renew every promise in the heart. And may it keep the eyes fixed on the author of life. If this message touched your heart, click the thanks button. Your support helps us continue sharing faith, comfort, and hope with those who need to hear it. Share this message, be a blessing to someone today. And remember, God's presence is greater than any adversity.